This program is made possible through the support of our generous sponsors. The Talk of Paynesville, a Paynesville area community education production in association with the Paynesville Area Chamber of Commerce.
Welcome to the Talk of Paynesville, our new community live stream talk show. I'm Jacob Bertram. Thanks for joining us. On the show today, we have the Paynesville Area Schools Distant Learning, your Make Wealth Management, Money Minute, and local news. First guest today is to discuss the new distant learning at Paynesville Area High School. Fifth grade teacher, Mr. Colin Wolf. High school science teacher, Mr. Jesse Rasmussen. Elementary student, Chloe Hemish. And secondary student, Paige Welling. Thank you all for joining us today. Mr. Wolf, we'll start with you. So tell us how things are going at the elementary school so far.
It is using technology in the classroom to actually use it in the home setting, and I've been finding that it's been a little bit more challenging than what I thought it was. But it's going, and I think things are, for the most part, going well.
That's great to hear. And what do you like best about the whole distant learning, being innovative and being more online?
It's a good challenge, and I like those challenges of being innovative and teaching in an innovative style, and still be effective with helping kids understand things. And this, for me now, it's learning how to understand science type stuff.
And thinking of this learning itself, what are some of the biggest challenges you have experienced so far with the whole process?
One of the biggest challenges that I've been experiencing is, and it's actually a blessing too, a lot of tech tool companies like Zoom and all those others been providing free services for teachers to use. But at the same time, there has been some different types of limitations to other tech tools, and like yesterday I found out that one very common tool, Quizlet, that I use in the classroom had some limitations, and so trying to keep up with what I have and how I can use it, it's been challenging.
All right, thank you, Mr. Wolf. We'll get back to you later. Next, we'll talk to Chloe, who is a fifth grader at Paynesville Area Elementary. Chloe, how are you today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for asking. So tell us a little bit about your experience so far with having school online.
It's very different, and you can't really it's harder to get in touch with your teachers right away, but I feel like it's good. I like it because you can go at your own pace and things.
Sure, yeah, definitely. So what does a typical day look like for you? Do you get up in the morning at the same time like you would if you're going to school, or how does that look?
I usually wake up around 7:30, so I get to sleep in an hour and a half because I used to wake up at 6. But then I get dressed and do my schoolwork, and then I eat lunch, and then I have the rest of the day to myself because I get my work done in the morning and it's better.
That's good. So you're saying you're enjoying the class so far. Do you miss seeing your friends every day in school and your teachers?
Yeah, at least I get to video chat them, but that's just not the same. It's kind of weird not seeing them for a month or so, but
well, that's good that you're adapting to the change and you're making the best out of it. So thanks, Chloe, for that. Mr. Rasmussen, we'll go to you. So how are things going at the secondary school with the distant learning program?
Good. It's hard to tell how things are going for other teachers because we're so individualized now. We really don't see each other except for on a couple meeting video calls a week, but so it's hard to tell what's going on in other people's classrooms, but I think things are going well and going along pretty smoothly.
Sure, and you're a science teacher. I know you teach HBS, PBS, and that was already mostly kind of online. But how does that work now with the whole distance learning being it all online?
Yeah, great question. So a lot of the resources are still available to students, and we can still do a lot of the same stuff we're doing in the class. But a lot of it was hands-on labs, and so that we have to sort of change things up or be creative about. We don't have the equipment, or students don't have the equipment available at home to do the same labs that we would do in class. And so we have to find either online simulations of it or find a way that they can do some of these labs at home using pieces that they would have available laying around home. So that's the big challenge for science class and distance learning, is trying to figure out how to get these hands-on lab components. Everybody's home, they don't have the cutting edge equipment that we have. So.
Sure, and besides having the challenge of not having enough the resources for the students, what are some other challenges that you see? Not just so much for science classes, but for other students around.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so. No teacher goes into distance learning, or no teacher becomes a teacher to do distance learning. So we're all sort of learning how to do this. No one took a college class on distance learning. So this is a learning experience for everybody, for teachers, for parents, for everybody. And so I think that's important to kind of understand, is teachers are kind of figuring this thing out as we go too, and what works for students and what doesn't work for students. Some of the big challenges are making sure everybody has access to it, access to the content, access to online stuff and resources. I think that's tough. People have different levels of internet availability and different levels of bandwidth and stuff like that. So it's one of the big challenges. Some of the other challenges are just finding a way to, in the classroom, you are the main resource for students. So in the classroom, I answer all the questions and I do that. I am the resource for the students. But at home, parents become that resource. And so it becomes about teaching students, but also it becomes about empowering parents so that they have some resources available so that they can answer questions for their students as well. And so it really branches out from just normal teaching to this kind of helping parents teach as well. And so it's a tough mix, and it's hard to figure out. And feedback is always nice from students. So if you have something that's not working that teachers are doing, please email your teachers. I'm sure they would like to know, because we're trying to do the best we can. But again, we're kind of new at this too.
Exactly, and I know you're a parent as well. So is there any advice you want to give to our parents out there dealing with the kids who are, if they're struggling in a class or not sure what to do next, what they should do to help them with their classes?
So I just have a preschool student, and I've been really impressed with what the Paynesville Community Ed has been doing with preschool and the Seesaw program. My daughter has great learning opportunities through Seesaw, and we've been working through that with her. It does sort of put us in the driver's seat as her teacher, but that's sort of what we understood going into this, and that's a role we're happy to play. And so I think that's a hard part for parents, is now you're the main involvement in their learning, and so teachers are kind of there to support you and to teach, but also parents are kind of put in that role too. So yeah, it's been a fun experience. It's been nice to sit down with my daughter and work through stuff with her, and things that she would do normally in class we get to do with her, and so that's neat to be a part of that.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Mr. Rasmussen. Paige, we'll go next to you. Paige is a junior at Paynesville High School. Paige, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
That's great to hear. So tell us a little bit about now your experience being a junior at Paynesville High School.
With the distance learning, it's really kind of difficult a little bit, because you're trying to be able to talk to teachers, and it's hard to communicate with them as a junior, because you have more challenging classes, and yeah, it's really difficult.
So what I asked Chloe before, how does a typical day look like for you? Do you still get up in the same routine? Do you still have that? Does that help you if you do?
I get up around 9 o'clock because I have a Google Meet at 10 o'clock every other morning. And I try to get all my stuff done, like Chloe said, in the morning because it helps when you have the rest of the afternoon, have family items, or just to be free and have a break from schoolwork.
Yeah, it's a great way kind of to map out your time and to use it effectively. I know you're a student representative on the school board, and I believe they moved their meetings now to an online base. Are you hearing anything from students outside of the classroom saying how things could be better, or different things that you think that you could talk about to make sure that this whole process is working well with other students?
Um, I haven't really heard a whole lot just from my friends that I've talked to on FaceTime or video chats. Just that us students don't think that there's nothing wrong in the community since we don't have the case yet in our community. So us students, it's hard to get together because we think that nothing is wrong. So we all want to get together and be like, have fun and do classwork together or do things together. But it's like we can't because of the virus that is going around. So it's very challenging to stay at home and have that learning and friendship still and talking
And with that, we kind of have to find different ways of how to get around that, and being with the technology we have today, we're kind of able to do that. So that's great. Well, folks, listening live right now, if you have any questions for these four, we'll have our question line open. Matt will be moderating it, and so will I. So if there's any questions, you can let us know. And we'll talk about right now. I know Mr. Wolf is the track coach, and so is Mr. Rasmussen is a golf coach. So we want to talk a little bit about that as we get the questions rolling in. So Mr. Wolf, how does it feel to have your nights free now that you don't have track practice to attend to or meets to attend to?
I look so forward to all the track meets and all the nights being out on the track and, cheering you on, Jacob, when you were running. I miss that. I mean, that's me. That's my lifestyle. And that's why I coach. It isn't because of the money, it's because I actually enjoy the sport. It's a great activity. And so getting the news that it's looking like we will not be having track, things are starting to get canceled, it's a bummer. I mean, I really look forward to 3:15 and leaving my teacher hat off in my room and going over to the high school and putting on my coaching hat, and it's awesome. Just interacting with everybody. I don't think people realize how big a team sport track could be, and it's just a great feeling being around a bunch of people who have the similar passions and interests and want to do well. So it's been a struggle because I miss track, and I had a long period of time being outside of track, and I got back into it because, like I said, it's a lifestyle. It's something that I enjoy doing around with other people.
Right, exactly, and I can understand where you'd see that you'd miss it so much. Is there anything you want to say to the tracksters out there to stay healthy with everything? I know you still can go outside and stuff. So, is there anything that you would want to tell them to stay active and to be ready for next year?
Over the years, I've kind of learned in watching people that, like I said, track is a lifestyle. It's something you do because you really want to do it, whether how good you are at it. And so, hopefully, with the weather taking a turn here, being nice, hopefully people can get out and just go for a walk, go for a bike ride, just do something active and you're enjoying it. And you actually probably get out and probably see some people from a distance. So it's just all about being active and enjoying what you do. So hopefully we won't have to worry about this again next spring, and we can go ahead and have some more fun.
I like that idea. Thanks. So, Mr. Rasmussen, we'll talk about the golf season now. I know they're talking about how they're going to implement that this summer and hopefully get them, be able to open. But how do you feel about the season being canceled, postponed for right now?
Yes, I love golf. I look forward to it every year. I don't think any coach goes into coaching without looking forward to what they're doing. For me, there'll be another season. For me, there's always next year, and that's okay. But my heart hurts for the senior athletes who look forward to their spring season. Those senior athletes who won't get to have their final senior season, and so I feel for them, and that's sort of why this is a bummer. As a coach, I'll coach again next year, but they won't get a chance to play again next year, and that's kind of the bummer about this whole COVID-19 thing. And what can you do?
Exactly. And I know they talked about trying to open up the golf courses, so that's definitely something that students can still do and still be a part of as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't own a golf course, but if I did, I would open that thing as soon as I could, and I would find ways to get people out there to play golf distance-wise, because I'm sure there's a lot of people sitting at home who would like to play golf right now, and I'm guessing you could pack that golf course in no time with all these people working from home. Could take a few hours off and go play around a golf. So if I owned the golf course, I would open it as soon as I could, but that's just me.
Right, exactly. Even with the track season and the golf season, we had a great spring. Ice is out on the Lake Corona's way ahead of its time than it was last year. It would have been a great time, but that doesn't mean that we still can't experience our spring and enjoy our the nice weather that we have. And I know the grass is getting greener, and it's always going to be greener. So hopefully that goes well as well. So Matt, we don't have any questions right now, but if anyone throughout the episode would like to have a question, we can get that for you to the next question. Is there anything else that anyone wants to say to the viewers at home? All right, well, just thank you for joining us all, and have a good rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, folks, more fun and guests are on the way. Now let's hear from our sponsors who help make this possible.
We all want to be centered on life's best moments. The big ones, the small ones. We know you don't have time for complicated banking, and we believe you deserve something more. Our friendly and knowledgeable team is here to make banking easier with the right financial accounts, loans, and services to fit your needs. It's our promise to you to place your needs at the center of all we do. Central Minnesota Credit Union, centered on you.
This program is made possible through the support of our generous sponsors. The Talk of Paynesville, a Paynesville Area Community Education production in association with the Paynesville Area Chamber of Commerce.
The economy is on a roller coaster right now. Stock markets have record highs and record lows this year. It can often be hard to make sense of all what's going on. We want to welcome Mr. Jeremy Willner for this episode's Your Money Minute.
Okay, thank you, Jacob. And my name is Jeremy Willner. I'm the CEO and founder and a wealth advisor at Mag Wealth Management here in Paynesville and Wilmer. And today I want to just give a quick, brief overview of the CARES Act because it's a very pressing issue right now with most people. It's over a $2 trillion bill that just passed. It was signed on March 27th, and there are direct payments to individuals. There are loans that are available for small businesses, large businesses, and to just go over a couple of those items, first with individual payments. The individual payments start at $1,200 if you have an adjusted gross income of under $75,000, and they are phased out at $98,000. I'm sorry, $99,000. And if you're a married couple filing a joint return, you're able to get up to $2,400 as long as you have an AGI, adjusted gross income, of under $150,000. And then that also phases out at $198,000. And also, if you have children that are younger than 17, you can get up to $500 for each of those children. Now, we've heard that those payments actually started going out on Friday, and they will be going direct deposit as long as you filed your 2018 or 2019 tax returns and had direct deposit on that. Also, if you're a Social Security recipient, you'll be getting those as a direct deposit as well. Now, if you have not filed your tax return or do not receive Social Security benefits, you can actually go to irs.gov and sign up and put your banking information in there. And if you do not have direct deposit, those checks, the paper checks, will probably be mailed in mid-May. Another big part of the CARES Act is for small businesses is called the PPP, or the Paycheck Protection Program. And what that allows businesses to do is to get a loan, an SBA loan, that can be forgiven if certain criteria are met. So if you are a small business and you have a banking relationship, contact your banker to see if there's any ability for you to file for that paycheck protection loan. They've been very popular. It's $350 billion out of the $2.2 trillion bill. Some other changes are for retirement plans and tax changes. HSAs and IRA deposits can be made up until July 15th of this year, as well as most people know now, the tax filing deadline has been extended to July 15th of 2020. For individuals that have been taking required minimum distributions from their IRAs, that has been suspended for 2020. So if you've been taking your required minimum distributions, you do not need to take one for 2020. And you also, if you have already taken that, you can do what's called a rollover back into the IRA if you do not need that money for your income. Some of the other items that have been put out there are unemployment benefits have been extended. So on top of your own state's benefits, there's a $600 additional unemployment benefit that you can get through the federal government. Another piece is the charitable giving. Right now, if you file a tax return and do not itemize, you cannot deduct charitable contributions. But there is now an above the line, what they call above the line, $300 per individual tax deduction that you can take for any charitable contributions. And if you're a married couple, you can take $600. And then you can also deduct up to 100% of your adjusted gross income this year to charitable contributions. And just a couple of the other quick provisions are business interest deduction. You can now take up to a 50% business interest deduction. Federal student loans can be deferred until September 30th. And then also, if you have any federally backed mortgages, you can call your lender and those can also be forgiven for 180 days. So that's just a quick, brief overview of the CARES Act. Now we want to answer a few questions from our viewers. The first one is, help, I just received my March 401k statement and I have lost thousands of dollars. What should I do? I'd say the first thing is don't panic. People have lost a lot of money by panicking and immediately liquidating or moving to cash. Some of the biggest things that we do when we talk with our clients is try to build a financial plan. And when we revisit that financial plan, whether it's looking at your retirement goals, objectives, and to make sure that you're continuing to be on the path towards retirement, because we always build in declines as we look toward building those plans out. So number one, I'd say look towards the long term and the plan. And then secondly, really look at your risk budget. if you really are struggling with the downturn, perhaps the risk that you've been taking in your portfolio is not the correct risk for your particular portfolio. And then I would just move and try to see if there's anything that you'd need to do to adjust that portfolio. So you can contact your existing advisor for that. Our next question is, I just lost my job. Should I use my 401k to pay my bills? That question is one that we do get from time to time. And if you can do anything else, I would recommend doing that first, because you're saving for your future. And if you can avoid taking out any money from your 401k, that's going to benefit you in the long run. There are opportunities, though, if it is a last resort that you need to get at those loans or at that money. There are loans from most 401k plans, and there are some additional provisions with the CARES Act now that allows you to take a larger amount out of those 401ks and pay them back over a little longer period. So if it is something that you would need to do, you can ultimately do that, but it's not recommended to take that out of a 401k. But if there's no other option, that is available to you.
Thanks, Jeremy. We'll see you next week. If you have any questions you'd like to ask Jeremy, please put them in the comment section below, and he will answer them in a future broadcast. If you'd like to contact Jeremy for more information about what he's talked about today, you visit his website at www.megwealth.com. Well, speaking of money, we'd like to take this time to pay some bills and support our sponsors.
We all want to be centered on life's best moments. The big ones, the small ones. We know you don't have time for complicated banking, and we believe you deserve something more. Our friendly and knowledgeable team is here to make banking easier with the right financial accounts, loans, and services to fit your needs. It's our promise to you to place your needs at the center of all we do. Central Minnesota Credit Union, centered on you.
And now it's time for some local news.
The City of Paynesville recently completed 2 new playground installations, one at Gazebo Park, which features a Ninja Warrior playground next to the splash pad, as well as new swing sets and 2 pieces of exercise equipment. Veterans Park also received a new playground and swing set up near the beach. Please remember to keep proper social distancing when using the parks and playgrounds. It's official. The ice out date on Lake Coronis this year was April 8th compared to April 22nd in 2019 and May 2nd in 2018. Paynesville Police, Fire, and Ambulance Departments, as well as local car enthusiasts, held a car parade around town on Tuesday, April 14th to help lift people's spirits. Thanks Candy Lux for the video of the parade. High schools across the state have participated in the Be the Light Minnesota, a tribute to the class of 2020. On Wednesday, April 15th at 8:20 p.m., the baseball and football stadium lights were put on for 20 minutes and 20 seconds to honor our class of 2020. They even had a slideshow of the graduates playing on the football scoreboard. This sure sheds some light in the dark times we face today.
Well, tonight is just an opportunity to bring out the community a little bit and give us a chance to honor our graduating seniors of 2020 and just give the community a sense of belonging and a time to smile and enjoy themselves.
Yeah, obviously with the pandemic going on and everything that the senior class lost, it's just something that we could do as a school to bring some of those people a chance to have a memorable moment. It's not going to replace everything that they lost, but we just wanted to be able to do something as a school district to honor the class of 2020, and hopefully this is just a start of some other things that we can come up with to honor them.
More importantly, we got to take care of each other right now and keep people healthy and do the right things and keep people safe, and that we all have to be do our part, and everybody has to help out. One thing that's really neat is a lot of people have done a lot of nice things, random act of kindness, and I know that's so special when other people do random acts of kindness, and we got to keep that going. There's a lot of people struggling mentally, emotionally, have lost jobs, and we have to look out for each other.
All right, folks, now it's time to brighten up the mood. We'll be having the Joke of the Week segment. Please send your jokes in and we'll tell them on our show, only if they make us laugh. So get ready for this week's joke. How does a dog stop a movie? He presses pause. And I know everyone needs to settle down from all the laughter, even Matt's laughing in the back now. So we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
This program is made possible through the support of our generous sponsors. The Talk of Paynesville, a Paynesville Area Community Education production in association with the Paynesville Area Chamber of Commerce.
All right, back to the show. If you have any community news, stories, or announcements you'd like to include, please contact us at www.paynesvillece.com/livestream. If you'd like to make an investment in your community, please consider joining the Paynesville Area Chamber of Commerce. We are currently accepting new individual and business members. More information about the chamber can be found at paynesvillechamber.org. Thanks everyone for watching. Please take a moment to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you're notified whenever we have our broadcasts. See you next time on the Talk of Paynesville. I'm Jacob Bertram. Stay safe, stay home, and stay cool, Paynesville.